Hello, my name is Chuck Benane, Chief Operating Officer of UnitedRx Pharmacy. Point-Click Care is a major component of how orders are communicated to the pharmacy. In this video, we are going to review some areas of Point-Click Care that have shown to be troublesome in the communication between you at the facility and the pharmacy. It is not our intent to supersede any policies your facility may have in place regarding the materials we are about to present. The topics that we're going to talk about are medication ordering, medication receiving / reordering, linking orders, and exhausting orders. Thank you for your participation in this important in-service, and now I will hand this off to Andrew Tutt, our Director of Marketing. Thank you, Andrew.
We're going to look at how to order a simple medication such as atorvastatin and the key things to look out for when you're ordering this. As you can see, we're in Adam Jones's profile. We'll click on New, and some of this may be very familiar to you. The order date we're going to use today, we're going to use right now. The pharmacy is how you're going to order it. A written prescription, ordered by Sam Neil C. The medication is atorvastatin. And it is important to choose the milligram. If you choose just a powder or a tablet, the pharmacy will call for a clarification. So if you know the strength of medication based on the prescription that was written, it is important to include that at this moment. We're going to choose 20 milligrams. Standard medication, we're going to do it by mouth. A routine is one tablet daily, every day. And I'm going to arbitrarily choose 8 a.m. That drop-down list will populate with your med times. Click on Indication for Use, and click Angina, in this case. No additional directions. Administered by a clinician. There is a start date. There is no end date needed for an atorvastatin. And then here are the source details, and this is where oftentimes mistakes are made. It is important to choose pharmacy, and in this case choose UnitedRx Pharmacy. If you were to choose family supplied or house stock, the order would come to UnitedRx Pharmacy, but we would see it as a profile only. We would not fill it, we would not put it into our workflow, and you would not receive the medication. So again, it is important to choose pharmacy. It is important to choose UnitedRx. If you had other pharmacies in here, such as GHEA, and you clicked on that, again, it would come to us as a profile-only order. Something for us to note in the patient's profile, but we would not fill it. We would not put it in the workflow, and it would not come out on the delivery, because our expectation is that it would be coming from GHEA. So again, it is very important to choose pharmacy and UnitedRx. When completed with that, click Save, click OK, acknowledge, enter in your password, click on Authenticate, and now you should see it on the list. And now you know that this order has been submitted to the pharmacy, and you should expect it on the next delivery time based on cutoff. As I mentioned just a few minutes ago, if you don't choose UnitedRx from the drop-down menu in the original order, it'll show up in our system as a profile only. Here's an example of haloperidol where it did come in as a profile only in error, and you'll see that the check mark is in the profile only. So we never sent the medication and the patient never got their haloperidol. So this is something very important to watch out for when you're putting in the original order. Make sure you choose the correct pharmacy. Now we'll take a look at ordering tramadol, which is a controlled substance, which, as mentioned earlier, will require a couple of additional steps. So we go to New Order. We'll use the today's date and time, prescription written. And then we start to type in tramadol. And we're going to choose the tablet 50 milligram. You'll see that as a controlled drug level 4. So it's already alerted to you that this is a controlled drug, and you should begin to think about the additional steps that you'll need to take. Medication class is filled in. Order type is filled in. We're going to do a by mouth. We'll click on routine, 1 tablet, one time a day, every day. Arbitrarily, we'll choose 1 o'clock. Click on indication. We'll scroll down to pain. We do not need a related diagnosis in this case. We can add in additional directions if needed. And again, as mentioned previously, it is important to choose pharmacy. It is important to choose the pharmacy, which is UnitedRx in this case. And we should be able to hit save. It is important to read this next box. So the medication that you have entered is a controlled drug. Your pharmacy will be unable to process this order until a signed copy of the order is received from the prescriber. Please follow your facility's normal protocols. So that means a couple things. You need to make sure that the prescription for the narcotic has been sent into the pharmacy, and then this order itself will need to be printed out and then sent into the pharmacy via fax. So from here we click OK, we click OK, and we click Acknowledge, and you'll be entering in your password. Click on Authenticate. To print this out, click on Actions, View, and from your internal systems you can print this page and then fax it in. Now let's discuss how to receive medications to enable the reorder functionality to occur. If you are not on auto receive, then every time that you receive a medication physically into your facility, you'll also need to receive it into PCC. If you are not on auto receive, we'd recommend discussing that with your DON, your administrator, and any regional people, as well as the pharmacy, to talk about the pros of doing an auto receive. But in this case, we're going to look at lovastatin, and you'll see that the reorder button is enabled. So from here, you can just click reorder, populates, and we click reorder order. You'll be asked for your password to authenticate. And it has been reordered. If we look at the list of medications for Mr. Jones, we can see that the Bactroban ointment, if we click on the plus sign and we click on Actions, has not been received. So you will not be able to reorder from this screen. If you click on the Receive button, and then you'll see the medication and the date and the time that you dispensed and received it. In this case, because it is a test, the dates are the same. But you click on Receive, and now the system knows that you have received the medication. And once it's done processing, you can at a later time go in and reorder, as we showed you earlier. So now if we went back to that Bactra bin and clicked on Actions, the reorder button would appear, and you can now reorder this medication right through PCC. Reordering medication through PC is the fastest way to get it into the pharmacy and the fastest way to get it into your facility. So it is important that you receive the medications into PCC and that you reorder the medications through PCC. Another PCC concept that we need to talk about is the idea of linking medications to allow you to reorder the correct thing. In this example, Novolog pen is what the patient is on, but you see in the supply that there are a Novolog Flex pen as well as a Lantus injection highlighted in the red circles. You'll also see the reorder, exhaust, and receive buttons to the left. When you are reordering this, make sure you are reordering the correct item, the Novolog Flex pen in this example, by clicking the receive button and then the reorder button. This way you will get the correct medication sent to you. If you hit the reorder receive buttons on the Lantus, you will receive Lantus, which is not what has been prescribed and what's not on your EMR, and so there will be a med error. Another way to put that is that if you were to choose Lantus, it won't even link to Novolog, and you won't be able to reorder the right medication. We're going to look at another example of linking. In this case, patient Capri. We'll scroll down to see her spironolactone, and you have received it, and now which one do you choose to receive in order to reorder it? Well, you've got to choose the medication line that matches the label, including the RX number. So take a look at the medication, match the supply medication name, and match the RX number. Hit receive on the proper one, and from there you'll be able to reorder it. Another common issue that often comes up in the reorder process is that the medication builds up, as you'll see down here. The levothyroxine has 3 lines. And you'll notice that the bottom one is, if you click on it, it has the word exhaust. What has happened here is that the medication was never originally received electronically into PCC. And a nurse kept clicking the reorder button, in this case probably 3 times. The medication never arrived from us because we never saw the reorder come through PCC because it was never received. So they called the pharmacy and we sent the medication. So the medication is in-house. But in order to clear this up, you'll need to click on the exhaust button with the following dialog that comes up, and you can click OK. And then if you go back to the levothyroxine, you'll see that there are 2. And you'll need to then click receive on the bottom one. Click on receive. You'll have to click on the exhaust on this one because you have gone through all of the medications. The final step will be then to reorder the levothyroxine, and because it has been officially received within PCC, the reorder will take you to this screen. You can complete it and then click on reorder to the pharmacy. I'd like to leave you with a couple of things to remember. Make sure the order is going to the right pharmacy. Choose UnitedRx from that drop-down list as shown earlier if the expectation is the order is going to come from UnitedRx. If you choose house stock or a specialty pharmacy, we're going to see that order as profile only and not send it. We also recommend turning on auto receive. If it's not on for you already, please ask your DON administrator or regional operators to turn it on. This way the medications will always be available for reordering right from the EMR. Which leads me to always order your refills through PCC instead of fax. Fax refills can take up to 72-hour turnaround time. PCC refills come out on the next delivery, depending on cutoff time and when they were ordered. The only exception to that, the only exception to reordering through PCC instead of fax are narcotics, control orders, orders with directions longer than 140 characters, compounds, and IV medications. I'd like to thank you for viewing this video. If there are other topics you'd like to hear more about, please contact me. My information is on the screen. On behalf of UnitedRx, thank you very much.